Hey, IAC. Easter was just 2 days ago, but with all the snow and the cold, it would be easy to think that we have moved on, that Easter is behind us. But actually, in the church calendar, Easter is a season, not just a day, a 50-day long season. We take the time to walk with the resurrected Christ, just as the disciples were walking with the resurrected Christ. Now, what does that look like practically that we're in Easter season? Well, for one, the service is going to look just a little bit different, a little bit more celebratory, a lot more alleluias thrown in. For another, we take this season to pay attention to the ways resurrection joy is breaking into our lives, because it is, we just don't always have eyes to see it or pay attention to it. So in this scattered reality, we want to hear about the ways joy is welling up in you. If you have a story from the big to the small, we want to hear that story. Send an email to joy@springsiac.org and let us know the ways that joy is welling up in your own life in this season, because joy is breaking in. These resurrection realities are present because Jesus is alive. But there's also a personal formational element to the Easter season. In Lent, we're encouraged to strip something away, right? Perhaps something we've been putting too much time or attention on that distracts us from things that really matter, things that will create a hunger when we take them away, a hunger for God. And if you found that Lenten practice life-giving, for goodness sakes, don't go back. Stick to those rhythms. But personally, this was the Lentiest Lent I ever Lented. And I'm sensing within myself a need for some kind of switch to move into a different heart space. And this is where I think Eastertide could be a great gift to us this year, because if we fast in Lent, we feast in Easter. Feasting does not necessarily mean doing more of something. It actually just means delighting more in what we are doing, seeing the joy of Christ in the joys we experience day to day. So in Easter, think about adding something to your rhythms that brings you delight, that brings you true rest and renewal, not just that allows you to escape, but that actually fosters joy. For me, that's playing music. I've spent more time at the piano probably the last 3 days than I have in the last 6 months. And it is changing. It's changing the way I see the world and even the openness to joy, the joy of Christ welling up within me. Usually music for me isn't urgent, so it's something that often gets pushed out. But in this Easter season, I'm committing every day to sit down at the piano, and I'm really excited about it. What would it look like for you to feast? For you to have your eyes peeled for Christ's joy breaking in, for beauty and rest and renewal to well up. Let's have some fun with this, church. It's Eastertide.